Good morning all. Today we are discussing about mesh current and node voltage analysis. Okay, is it clear? Mesh current and node voltage analysis. So these are the terminologies used in network analysis. So first thing, what is mesh and what is node and so how to use mesh current equations and how to apply node voltage. So these to be analyzed in this chapter. So that's why mesh current and node voltage analysis. Okay, in that the first topic is concept of a graph of a network. Okay, so the graph of a network or network graph is the skeleton of a given network. So that means suppose in mathematical, so we are drawing some graph between the x-axis and y-axis based on the here we are using the x-axis as time, y-axis equal to some voltage or a current. In the same way in network analysis also we draw the network. Okay, we draw the network. So from that network the graph is to be from the network is to be represented as a graph. That means so the graph is a graph of a network or network graph is the skeleton of a given network. That means all the elements of the network are replaced by lines with small circles at the ends. So that means the diagram that uses lines which dots at the ends to represent network elements is usually called a graph of a network. Suppose for example, so the network is equal to the resistor and inductor. These two will be connected to the one voltage source that is equal to V. So resistor equal to R. So next inductor is equal to L. These two elements are connected to the voltage source. So these resistor is to be represented. That means all the elements of the networks are replaced by lines with small circle. So this resistor will be replaced with a line. Okay. So at the end we are representing as a circles or otherwise dot. Okay. All the elements of the networks are replaced by lines with small circles at the ends. So that the diagram that uses lines with dots at the ends to represent the network elements is usually called as a graph. So this one is equal to our network. So this network is to be converted as a graph. So that means all the elements are replaced with the lines. So the lines these are ended with circles. So this one is equal to the resistor R. Next go for the inductor L. So next one is voltage source that is equal to again V. So this representation is called as a graph of a network. Is it clear? So graph of a network means the graph of a network or a network graph is a skeleton of a given network. That means the elements which are existed in the network is to be represented by some solid lines ended with some circles. That is called as a graph of a network. Okay. Here is the some example. Here is equal to our circuit diagram. Okay. So in this circuit diagram, first we are calculating the number of nodes and number of branches within a circuit. So the number of nodes here is equal to. So that means what is a node? Here is what is a node means. So where are two or three terminals are joined together, that point will be called as a node. Here is equal to, suppose here resistor R1 and V1 and resistor R1 rest V2 all are connected at one point. This point is called as a node. So that node will be represented as A. Again another point is equal to B. Next one is C. So this D is equal to the reference value. Bye. So first number of so within the network, first we are identifying the number of nodes and number of branches existed within a network. So that's why the node is equal to the two or more elements are connected at one junction or one point is equal to the node. Here the number of nodes we are calculated as, so node 1A, node 2B and node 2C. Here node 1 is connected between R1, R2 and V2 are connected at one point, that is A. Next again B. So in between R2, R4 and L. So next C is equal to, that is the connection of R2. Next R3. Next one is so capacitor C. Next one is current I. So these are the three nodes. Again the fourth node is equal to D. So this node will be equal to the reference node, because So all the elements which are connected to the ground, so this ground point will be connected as calculated as a reference value. So that's why the number of nodes n is equal to node. The number of nodes existed in this network equal to 4. So next again same thing, we are calculating the number of branches existed in a network. So that means, so this one is equal to the one branch. Okay, next go for the 2, 3, okay, next 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are the 7 branches existed in this network. So that's why B is equal to 7, N is equal to 4. Okay. So in this case, these four first, so when you draw the graph, first we are representing the nodes. So that means the number of nodes is equal to 4. 1. So that is A point. Next B node, C, reference node is equal to D. Okay. So again, so from here the branch 1 that is connected between A and D. So that is equal to A and D is the one branch. Next second branch is A to B, that is A to B. Next third one is A to C, that is equal, third one is A to C. Next fourth one is B to C. Okay. So next fifth one is from again B to D. Fifth one is B to D. Again sixth one is equal to C to D. Sixth one is equal to C to D. So the number of branches in this case equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But in this network, the number of branches is equal to 7. But in graphical representation, the number of branches is equal to 6. So why? Because, so when we are replacing the circuit with a graph, so the current source is to be open circuit, because here the internal impedance mentioned can be replaced by the open circuit. Hence not to be considered, because the current source is to be open circuited. So that's why here the number of branches existed within a graph is equal to 6, but so within a network is equal to 7. Okay, again once again I repeat once again. When we draw the graph of a network, first we are calculating the number of nodes and number of branches. Okay, so the node is equal to the joining point, B is equal to the in between the nodes is equal to the branch. So here we are calculating the number of nodes is equal to 4, number of branches is equal to 7. So we are replacing these elements with a graphical representation. First we are representing the number of nodes A, B, C and D. After that we are joining between the nodes, we are representing the branches. Okay, that is the graphical representation. This will be called as a graph of a network. Okay, so in this graph there is a two types, that is oriented graph and unoriented graph. So first one is oriented graph. So oriented graph is a graph in which the orientations of the branches are known in the given network and the same as transferred on the graph. The oriented graph is also called as a direct graph. Is it clear? So oriented graph is a graph in which the orientations of the branches are known in a given network. Suppose, so in our network, okay. So orientation graph means, suppose, so we are representing the flow of current of the each branch in their directions, then that will be equal to the oriented graph. That means, so when the network is to be given, okay, so the network will be represented their own current path represented by the graphical representation is equal to the oriented graph. That means oriented graph is a graph in which the orientations of the branches are known. So that means the orientation of the current flowing of the branches is to be known in the given network, and the same has to be transferred on the graph. Same thing is to be transferred on the graph is called as the orientation graph or oriented graph. This is also called as a directed graph. Next one is unoriented graph. When the directions of the currents are not given in the network and the graph is without such orientation, such a graph is called as unoriented graph. That means when the directions of the currents, so when the directions of the currents are not given in the network, that means So there is no representation of the current flowing direction of each branch within a network. Okay, at the same time and the graph is without such orientation. Such a graph is called a unoriented graph. Suppose so for simple circuit that is equal to the resistor. Okay, next one is connected with some voltage source V. Okay, so the resistor is equal to R, voltage equal to V, the current I is equal to, so the current direction is equal to I. When you are representing the graph, so the node point is equal to 1, that is A, reference point is equal to B. So only the two elements is connected between these two, R, next one is the V. Okay, so here already they are representing the current direction in this direction, okay, into the resistor. So that's why, so this one is equal to the oriented graph. Suppose, so same circuit, that is resistor is connected to the 1 voltage source. Here there is no representation of the current direction. So then when we draw the graph between A and B nodes, so there is no path direction for the current flowing direction. That is called as the unoriented graph. So that means oriented graph means, so already we know the orientations of the branches, but in unoriented graph there is no not given in the network. That means the directions of the currents are not given in the network, and the graph is represented without such orientation is called as a unoriented graph. Okay. Next go for the other definitions. So what is a node? What is the principal node? Next branch, loop and mesh. Okay, here is node. So the first one is node. A point at which two or more elements are joined together is called node. Already we studied, that is a point at which two or more elements are joined together is called node. So next one is principal node or a junction. A point at which three or more elements are joined together is called as a principal node. Is it clear? So two or more elements are joined together is called as a node. At the same time, the node is also called sometimes is principal node. That is a point at which three or more elements are joined together is called principal node or a junction. Next one is branch. So the branch is equal to the path between any two nodes is called a branch. That means the path between the any two nodes is called a branch. A branch may have one or more elements connected in series. Okay, a path may be having one or more elements connected in series. Next go for the loop. So loop is equal to a set of branches forming a closed path is called a loop. That means a set of branches forming a closed path is called a loop. So next go for the mesh equation. That means a loop which does not contain any other loops existing within a loop is called as a mesh. Okay. So for example, so here look at the same circuit diagram. So here what is node, what is branch, what is principal node, and so what is a loop. Okay. Here the first thing is node. Node is equal to two or more elements are connected. That means one element, two element and three. Two or more elements are two or three branches connected at one point. The point is called as a node. Here we are representing this node as a, that is node. So next one is the branch. So branch means, so the path between two nodes. Here the two nodes is equal to A and B. In between one resistor. Okay, that means, so it is connected between A and B. This path is called as a branch. Okay. So next go for the, so this branch may be containing, so two or more elements are connected in series. Here suppose for example, here is the one branch, that is A and B is equal, only the resistor is to be connected. This one is also called as a branch. Again in between A and D, so resistor R1 is in series with V1 is to be connected. That means the branch may be a path between two nodes. So this branch may be containing two or more elements are connected in series is to be considered as only one branch. Okay. So next go for the loop. So loop means, so when we are connecting the elements together, which forms a closed path. That means we are connecting the, so V1 resistor R1 and R2, next one is L1. So these all are connected. So which forms a one closed path is called as a loop. Okay. So the next one is mesh. So mesh means the individual loops which are not overlapping is called as a mesh. Okay. These are the some of the terminologies used in network analysis, that is node, loop, mesh and uh, branch. Okay, node is equal to the two or more elements are connected at one point, that is node. So next branch is equal to the in between the node, the path is called as a branch. So when we are connecting these branches together, that will be equal to the loop. Okay. So next go for mesh and nodal analysis are the two basic important techniques used in finding the solutions for a network. That means in network analysis, if you want to find the solutions for the network, so in this case, in our lecture, so we are basically two important analysis. Those two important analysis are mesh and nodal analysis. Okay. So based on, so where we are using these mesh and nodal analysis means based on the suitability of either mesh or nodal analysis to a particular problem. Okay, that means based on the network connections and based on which element you have to determine, based on that either we are selecting the either mesh equations or nodal analysis. Okay, so next go for next point. The suitability of either mesh or nodal analysis to a particular problem depends mainly on the number of voltage sources and current sources. At the same time, so we are selecting the either nodal analysis or mesh analysis. So we are selecting mainly depends on number of voltage sources or current sources that will be connected to the circuit. At the same time, next go for the third topic. If a network has a large number of voltage sources, it is useful to use mesh analysis. On the other hand, the network has more current sources, nodal analysis is better. Okay, so how to select these two nodal and mesh equations? Suppose that within a network there is a large number of voltage sources, so the best method is equal to mesh analysis. So in other hand, so the network has more current sources, nodal analysis is the more suitable for this network. Okay. Next, how to find these number of mesh equations within a network. Okay, so to find out the number of mesh equations required to solve the given network depends on, so the equation or a formula m is equal to b minus n plus 1. Okay, that means so the number of mesh equations required is equal to, that is m is equal to b minus n plus 1. That means here b is equal to the number of branches, n is equal to the number of nodes. So based on the number of branches and number of nodes, we are getting the number of equations to required to solve the given network. Okay, so in this way we are you find out the number of mesh equations required to solve the given network. That is the formula m is equal to number of mesh equations is equal to number of branches minus number of nodes plus 1. So how many mesh current equations are required can be determined by the formula. So m is equal to b minus n plus 1. That is the then how many number of mesh equations required to solve the given equation. That is the formula. Okay. Next, suppose if there is a three loops within a network. Okay. So how to solve these network by using mesh equations. Okay, so next our topic is mesh current equations for a given network. Okay, and arrange them in a matrix form. So in general representation, so the mathematical representation, so the mesh current equations for a three mesh current in general notations are, so that is equal to V1 is equal to Z11 I1 plus or minus Z12 I2 plus or minus Z13 I3. Again for V2 is equal to plus or minus Z21 I1 plus Z22 I2 plus Z23 I3. equal to V2. Next V3 is equal to plus or minus Z31 I1 plus Z32 I2 plus Z33 I3. That means the mathematical representation is equal to, so that is impedance parameters, that is Z11, Z12, Z13, Z21, Z22, Z23, Z31, Z32 and Z33 is multiplied with the current equations, that is I1, I2 and I3 is equal to the voltage sources V1, V2 and V3. This one is mathematical way to represent the mesh equation. That is, in this case here we are considering in this case we are considering 3 loops. So that's why here we are considering V1, V2 and V3 as the sources. Next, the current flowing through each loop is equal to I1, I2 and I3. Okay, the impedance parameters are equal to Z11, Z22, Z33. So these are the impedance parameters. Okay, so next, in this case, so first case 1, self impedances. Okay, the self impedances mean the element Z11 is called as the self impedance of a loop 1, and is given by the sum of all impedance through which I1 is flowing. Suppose our network having 3 loop equations through 3 loops, that is loop 1, loop 2 and loop 3. Okay, so in this case this one is equal to R1, R2, R3 and R4. Okay, here self impedance means Z11. Suppose here we are considering this one is equal to one loop. So in this loop the current flowing through this one is equal to I1. So the total impedances existed within this loop, that is the sum of all impedances through which I1 is flowing, is equal to the self impedance, that is equal to the Z11. Is it clear? Suppose again, so there is a 3 loops, that is loop 1, loop 2 and loop 3. Okay, so loop 1 current is equal to I1, loop 2 current flowing to this one is I2, next one is the I3. So whatever the impedances existed, that means the current I1 current is flowing through the impedances, that impedance is called as the self impedance, that is sum of all impedances through which I1 is flowing. Okay, so next, the elements Z22 and Z33 are the self impedances of the loop 2 and loop 3 and are given by the sum of all impedances through which I2 and I3 are flowing. In the same way, when I2 current is flowing through the loop, okay, then all the impedances, the sum of all the impedances through which I2 current is to be flowing is equal to the Z22, that is self impedance of the loop 2. At the same time, loop 3, that means, so the current flowing through this loop 3 is equal to I3. Okay, the current flowing through these impedances I3 is the sum of the all impedances is equal to the self impedance of the loop 3. These are the self impedances, that is case 1. Okay, next go for, so these self impedances are Z11, Z22, Z33. That means the sum of all impedances in loop 1, sum of all impedances in loop 2 and sum of all impedances in loop 3. So these are the self impedances. Next go for the mutual impedances. In these mutual impedances, so the first one is Z12 is the sum of all impedance through which both the currents I1 and I2 current are flowing. Hence Z12 is called the mutual impedances between loop 1 and loop 2. It follows that Z12 is equal to the Z21. Suppose, so this one is equal to our first loop, next one is the second loop. Okay, suppose here there exists some impedance that is some Z12. Okay, that means, so from this loop the current is equal to I1, so from second loop that is equal to I2. So both the currents are enter into this impedance Z12. So this one is called as a mutual impedance. That means Z12 is the sum of all impedances through which both the currents I1 and I2 are flowing. And suppose whatever the impedance is to be existed, so from this impedance, so there is a two currents will be flowing, that is I1 and I2. Then that impedance is called as a mutual impedance. Okay, so this mutual impedance Z12 is equal to the Z21, that is symmetric property. Okay, similarly, so Z13 is equal to the Z31 is the mutual impedances between loop 1 and 3. Okay, is it clear? Mutual impedances, impedance means in between the loops. So that means, so from that impedance, two currents will be enter or flowing through the impedance, that is equal to the mutual impedance. That is, for loop 1 Z12, for loop 2 and loop 3 that Z13 is equal to the Z31. Okay, that is the mutual impedances. Next, go for the case 3. Okay, sum of the voltage sources in loop. The terms that appear on the right hand side of the loop equations denote the algebraic sum of the voltages in the loop. That means sum of the voltage sources in loop. Okay, that means the terms that appear on the right hand side of the loop equations denote the algebraic sum of the voltages in the loop. Suppose, so we are considering one loop equation. Here we are placing one voltage source. Again there is a resistor, that is voltage drop VR. Suppose assume as VR1. Next one is equal to the VR2. So the voltage V is equal to sum of voltage drops within a right hand side loop, that is VR1 plus VR2. Okay, so sum of voltage sources in loops. That means the terms that appear on the right hand side of the loop equations denote the algebraic sum of the voltages in the loop. So in this case we are considering 3 loops. So that's why V1 is equal to the algebraic sum of the source voltages in first loop. V2 is equal to the algebraic sum of the source voltages in second loop, and V3 is equal to the algebraic sum of the source voltages in third loop. Okay, these are the 3 cases existed. Okay, so those 3 cases means, here look at once again how to represent the network in matrix form. Okay, so here mainly we are considering 3 loops, that is loop 1, loop 2 and loop 3. Okay, so the current flowing through loop 1 is equal to I1, the current flowing through this loop 2 is equal to I2, the current flowing through this loop is equal to I3. Okay, so in this case there may be 3 cases is to be existed. Case 1, so the case 1 is equal to the self impedances. Self impedances means within a loop. That means, so the current I1 flowing through the impedances is equal to the self impedance. Okay, again the current only I2 current is flowing through those resistance or impedances, that impedance is equal to the self impedance of the loop 2. Again only I3 current is flowing through the impedances, that impedance is equal to the I3. These are the self impedances. Next, go for the mutual impedances. Suppose in this case the mutual impedance is in between first loop and second loop. That means, so from this part or from this impedance the current, both the currents is to be flowing, that is I1 current and I2 current, both the currents will be flowing through this impedance is equal to the mutual impedance. At the same time, so from this second and third loop, so again in this case from this impedance the both the current, that is I2 current and I3 current, both are flowing through this. That's why those impedance is called as a mutual impedance between the loop 2 and loop 3. Again next third case is equal to this sum of the voltages. So suppose in first loop, suppose there is a 2 voltages. Okay, so 2 voltage is equal to the total voltages existed within a loop is equal to sum of these 2 voltage source values. That is, suppose V is equal to V1 plus V2. So that's why V1 is equal to, in our case V1 is equal to the sum of all the voltages within loop 1. Again V2 is equal to the sum of all the voltage sources within loop 2. V3 is equal to the sum of all the voltages in third loop. So these are the mesh current. So mesh current equations for a given network and how to arrange them in a matrix form. Okay, so this one is directly, so here we are directly write down the equations. So that's why, so this method is called as a inspection method. That means, so from this loop equations we are directly note down the values. That is, so self impedances along with the mutual impedances is equal to the sum of the voltage sources V1. So here is, so self impedance is equal to, here is equal to self impedances Z11. So next mutual impedances Z12 and Z13. Again, so the current flowing through this first loop is equal to I1, again second loop is equal to I2, third loop is equal to I3. So the sum of these voltage drops is equal to the, so the total voltage across the loop 1, that is equal to V1. That means loop 1 the voltage V1 is equal to, so that is Z11 I1 is equal to 1 voltage, so that means V is equal to IR. So that means, so V1, suppose assume as VA, VB and VC. The total sum is equal to the V1, that is the loop voltage V1. Again same thing, V2 is equal to the again, so the sum of the all voltage drops. Next one, V3 is equal to the sum of the all the voltage drops within the loop 3. So that's why V1, V2, V3. At the same time, the current flowing through loop 1 is equal to I1 and loop 2 is equal to I2 and loop 3 is equal to I3. Okay. So these diagonal values impedances is equal to the self impedances, that is Z11, Z22 and Z33 are the self impedances. So remaining all are equal to the mutual impedances of the circuit. Okay. So I think it is clear for everyone. So self impedances, next one is the go for the mutual impedances, next one is the sum of the voltage sources in the loop.